Hey guys, we're deep in it. My car died while I was driving home from work, and I tested the fuel pump, and there's no power getting to the fuel pump, so I'm thinking that it's the relay. Actually, only 0.6 volts gets to the fuel pump, so I'm thinking maybe the main relay, which is behind here. It's kind of bright, but there's the main relay right there. I bought a new main relay wherever they set that, and we're gonna go in and replace it, see if we can actually get this thing to function, because I don't like when my car's broke down at work. So here we go. All right, so I've got my vintage multimeter hooked up to where the fuel pump plug is, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the key here, and you can see what voltage it gets to. Key on. Oh, is it still hooked up? Oh, one of the leads fell out. So it gets to, oh yeah, it's up to 1.4 and it's going down, the voltages. Interesting. But before it was only getting to 0.6 volts when I was working on this last time, so not enough to do anything. So we're gonna swap out that relay. We'll see what happens. All right, we got the new relay connected. Let's go ahead and kick on the key and let's see if anything happens. Oh, still only 1 volt. That's not good. No. Well, I don't know if it's maybe the ECU that died. All right, so we're gonna check for ground, because obviously the relay is not the issue. It was a long shot. A lot of people said that when you're driving, it's very unlikely for it to be the relay, because it should just stop working while you're driving down the road. So we're gonna see if there's a ground that's missing or loose or not working, and figure that out. All right guys, we narrowed it down to something with the ECU ground not switching. When we verified the main relay works perfectly fine, and we're thinking that the ECU is not getting switched ground, or not switching the ground like it should. So we're going to confirm that the ECU actually is getting ground to it. So we're going to check these plugs just to see, you know, if we're getting ground. So we'll be back here in a moment with whatever we find out. So we narrowed it down to the ECU, and as you can see right there, it is very gross. Let me zoom in here. Look at that splooge. Oh yeah, not good. I think that this cap totally let up. Oh, it's kind of small. This cap totally exploded. So we're gonna see if we have another cap inside of here that we can replace that one cap with. So these were a bust, unfortunately. I had a couple receivers, but we're gonna check this car radio out and see, since it is full volts, you know, maybe that one, maybe that would have something that would work. So check it out. There's actually a CD in this. I just happened to get this from a friend who had it in their car. They replaced their radio, and I guess they left the CD in. I have no idea what it is. We'll have to see if we can get it out. With a little bit of surgical destroying, we got it out. It's Backstreet Boys. Wow. So it's not that scratched even, just needs a little cleaning and it'd work, but that's funny. Turns out all of that was worthless, but we did get a good Backstreet Boys disc, so that's nice. We did find another ECU, but it's a OBD0 ECU out of like a 88 to 91 Civic or CRX. And we found a capacitor in there that we could use. I'm going to make sure I document this so we can put the capacitor back on, because I still want to use this. It is a little crusty, but I think it's still usable. Maybe not. Ooh, that looks pretty gross over there, so it may not be usable. But this one is I have another ECU, but this one's a little fancier, so it's got like some kind of custom tuning on it or something. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna pull this off and see if we can put it on there and see if we can get a car working today. Woo! All right, guys, we got it out. It's all that you can tell. The bottom of those leads are just like covered in goo, and if you look right here, you can see where it was. It totally like shat itself. Oh, now we got to clean it. We're gonna use some brake clean because I couldn't find any alcohol, and I've got some Q-tips right over here, and we're gonna clean the crap out of that, get it all nice and clean, and then we're gonna put a different cap in that we actually pulled out of the other board, which is right there. So yay, we got it all cleaned up. It's looking really nice. I mean, in comparison, it looks really nice. So we're gonna put this new used cap back in and we'll see what it looks like. Looky there, it's in. Now we just need to solder it and flip it over and solder it in place. Like new. Zoom in here. Look at those solder balls. Looking good. It's kind of shaky, but good. Nice. All right, guys, moment of truth. I got the ECU hooked back up. Will the fuel pump turn on? No, I'm not hearing anything. Well, that might have been a total fail. Nothing is happening. It's clicking though still. Dang. Yeah, shoot. Well, ECU may still be having issues.
1 week later.
All right, guys, it's been about a week and we're back to the car. I've got a new ECU right here. And we're gonna take out the old ECU, which this one actually looks like it's the old one, but I think it just came out of a salvage yard. This one's the broken one. I'm gonna pop the cables out of this one, stick it into this one. We'll see if we can get anything to happen. Fingers crossed. I mean, judging by the fact that the ECU had a big black spot on it, I'm thinking it's the ECU that's the problem. So hopefully this will be a solution, unless this one also has an issue, or whatever's wrong with the car has caused this issue, or this issue to happen to this ECU, and it will happen to this one. Fingers crossed that's not the case. Let me go ahead and hook it up and we'll try turning on the key and seeing this thing purrs to life. All right, guys, time to find out if that $100 I spent on that ECU will be by... Oh, I heard that. Yeah. Oh, yes. That was the problem. Okay, good deal. New ECU. Now, since this ECU had an issue with the capacitor and it blew up, I'm guessing this one will probably have it before too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order new capacitors for this ECU before I put everything back up, take this ECU out, replace the capacitors. That way we do not have any problems in the future, because I know, now that I know this one's broken, I know this one's going to be a ticking time bomb. Ticking time bomb for sure. So, but yes, success. I'm super happy. On the next episode of Too Many Projects Garage, we're going to work on the exhaust because it's all rattly. Plus, I still have this check engine light right there, and that needs to be resolved. It's because one of the O2 sensors is unhooked. I need to hook up the other O2 sensor, but I'm going to put this stock catalytic converter back on the car and just put everything back to stock, because I kind of like the stock. You know, this is a cool car. It's in really good shape. So let's keep it stock, keep it preserved for the future, and then we can do something crazy with a different car in the future. I actually have other plans for other cars, so don't you worry. We're gonna have plenty of cool stuff to come. Next thing I want to work on is the Del Sol, so stay tuned for that. But I want to finish up this project for the most part. Still got to do some cosmetics, but I'm not worried about the cosmetics. I want all the mechanicals to be completed before we go and work on another project. So we're really close, really close, and I'm super happy that the ECU fixed this problem. Really annoying though, because that was a lot of work, but digging in and troubleshooting. But you saw the process, and it's kind of an interesting. Hopefully you learned something. I don't know if you did or not, but I do want to thank all my members for watching or for helping me out, even though it is only a small portion of what I get every month. I do really appreciate you guys supporting me, even if it's only a little. And you know, I appreciate your patience with me too, because this stuff ain't cheap, and I don't make any money on YouTube. I make a tiny little bit, and that's really not enough to do much of anything. So I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time on Too Many Projects Garage.